Have you ever wondered why, as we age, the way others interact with us seems to shift? Friends may begin to drift away, family members seem less patient, and even strangers don't share the same warmth they once did. It's a painful reality that many face, and it can leave you questioning what went wrong. But what if the problem isn't solely about how others are treating you, but about things you might be unknowingly doing that are driving them away? In this article, we'll uncover 6 subtle habits and behaviors that might be silently creating distance between you and the people you care about, and more importantly, how you can fix them before it's too late. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. 1. Becoming too negative about everything. One of the quickest ways to unintentionally push people away is by becoming overly negative about everything. By the time you reach your 70s, you've likely encountered numerous hardships, health problems, financial difficulties, and disappointments with family or society. These struggles are real, and it's natural to feel discouraged or down at times. However, when negativity becomes your default response, especially in every conversation, it can create distance between you and those around you. Constantly complaining about life's challenges can lead others to associate your presence with negativity, even if they care about you deeply. The truth is that no one enjoys being around someone who only focuses on what's wrong in the world. It's not that your feelings aren't valid. They are. But when you constantly dwell on them, it can sap the energy and enthusiasm of those around you. People may even start to avoid spending time with you, not because they don't care, but because your negativity feels draining. Think about it. When you're in a conversation with someone who always points out the negative aspects of life, does it feel enjoyable? Most likely, the answer is no. So, what can you do to change this pattern and maintain your relationships? The first step is practicing self-awareness. If you notice yourself consistently leading conversations with complaints or negative thoughts, pause for a moment and reflect on whether that's the energy you truly want to project. Even small changes, like sharing an amusing anecdote, offering a compliment, or telling an interesting fact, can go a long way. By focusing on more uplifting topics, you can create an environment where people feel positive and energized after interacting with you. Instead of leaving others feeling drained, aim to bring light into the room, ensuring that when they leave, they feel refreshed, not exhausted. 2. Giving unwanted advice or criticism. By the time you reach your 70s, you've accumulated a wealth of life experience. You've witnessed countless trends, observed people make mistakes, and learned valuable lessons along the way. Naturally, you may feel compelled to share your wisdom, especially with younger family members who might benefit from your perspective. However, this is where things can become complicated. Offering advice that hasn't been solicited can often be interpreted as judgment, rather than the helpful guidance you intend. This is particularly true when it comes to adult children or grandchildren. They may be facing their challenges, and while you may want to help, your unsolicited advice can come across as criticism. The same principle applies to friends as well. Suggesting that they should eat healthier or manage their finances better may seem like a genuine concern, but to them, it might feel more like a lecture. Even though your intentions are good, uninvited advice can unintentionally damage relationships and lead others to feel frustrated or resentful. So, how can you avoid this pitfall? The answer is simple. Ask before offering advice. If someone truly wants your opinion, they will ask for it. Otherwise, it's often better to let them figure things out on their own. For example, rather than saying, "You really shouldn't be eating that," you could say, "Would you be interested in some tips I've picked up about healthy eating?" This subtle shift in how you present your advice can make a significant difference in how people perceive you and increase the likelihood that they'll be receptive to what you have to say. By respecting others' autonomy and offering advice only when invited, you can maintain positive, respectful relationships while still sharing your knowledge and experience when the time is right. 3. Refusing to adapt to change. The world is constantly changing, and whether we like it or not, change is inevitable. As people get older, they often find themselves resisting these changes, which can create tension with younger generations and even friends who are more open to new ideas, trends, and technologies. While it's natural to feel nostalgic for the good old days, if every conversation revolves around how much better things used to be, it can give the impression that you are unwilling to engage with the present. Technology, social norms, and communication methods are all evolving, and refusing to adapt can make it difficult to relate to those around you. It's easy to feel frustrated by changes that don't align with your values or comfort zones, but holding on to the past too tightly can create barriers to meaningful connections. Others, particularly younger people, may struggle to understand why you're unwilling to embrace the new ways of doing things, making it harder to maintain strong relationships. So, what can you do? The key is to stay open to new experiences. This doesn't mean you need to love every trend or technology, but adopting a curious mindset toward change can help you stay engaged and relevant in the world around you. Instead of dismissing new technology or shifting cultural norms, try to learn more about them. Ask questions, express interest, and join conversations about new ideas. Showing a willingness to adapt can not only help you stay connected to those around you, but also keep your mind sharp. Your ability to embrace change, even in small ways, will ensure your relationships remain strong, and you continue to grow alongside the world around you. 4. Expecting too much from others without giving back. One of the most common causes of resentment in relationships is when one person expects too much from others without offering anything in return. As we get older, it can be easy to fall into the habit of relying on others for emotional support, help with errands, or regular visits without considering how much they may already be giving. While it's natural to need support, it's important to recognize that over time, people may begin to feel taken for granted, which can lead to distance in the relationship. If you find yourself relying heavily on others, it's essential to stop and reflect on how much you are giving in return. Relationships are built on reciprocity, and it's crucial to remember that while it's okay to ask for help when necessary, it's equally important to show appreciation and contribute in your own way. Even small gestures can have a big impact, whether it's offering a kind word, remembering someone's special occasion, or simply taking the time to listen and be there for them. These acts of kindness and gratitude go a long way in making people feel valued and appreciated, ensuring that the relationship remains strong and balanced. By being mindful of the need for mutual respect and care, you can foster relationships where both parties feel supported, loved, and appreciated. Instead of just receiving, make sure you are also giving, whether emotionally, mentally, or physically. This balance will help create healthier and more fulfilling connections that endure over time. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. 5. Bringing up the past too often. As we age, it's natural to reflect on the experiences and memories that have shaped us throughout our lives. The past is filled with meaningful moments that have contributed to who we are today, and it's not unusual to want to share these stories with others, especially with those who may not have lived through the same experiences. However, when every conversation revolves around reminiscing, it can create a barrier between you and others. This is particularly true when the focus shifts to constantly comparing the present with how things used to be, or when the same stories are repeated over and over again. While the memories we hold dear are valuable, it's important to remember that for younger people, in particular, it can be difficult to relate to a time and place they never experienced. They may start to feel like they are engaging with someone who is more tied to the past than to the present moment. This tendency to bring up the past too often can unintentionally make interactions feel less relevant to those around you. Younger generations might struggle to connect with stories that feel distant or outdated, leading to a sense of disconnect in the conversation. You may even find that these repetitive stories start to feel like a barrier between you and others, as they long to share their current experiences and ideas, but feel overshadowed by discussions about how things used to be. It can make them feel like they are talking to someone who is no longer engaged with the present, but rather reflecting solely on the past. So, what can you do to bridge this gap? While reminiscing is certainly valuable, it's equally important to balance it with an interest in the present. A good way to start is by actively asking others about their lives, listening to their stories, and showing genuine curiosity about what they're experiencing today. People appreciate when you take the time to learn about their current thoughts, ideas, and challenges, as it helps create a more dynamic and two-way conversation. By shifting the focus from constantly discussing what was to engaging in what is, you show that you value the other person's perspective and that you're open to experiencing life with them in the here and now. Additionally, embracing the present moment doesn't mean ignoring the past. It's about creating a healthy balance, acknowledging the importance of the memories that shaped you while also being open to new experiences and new memories with those around you. Whether it's trying new activities, sharing current hobbies, or just showing an interest in someone else's day-to-day life, these efforts go a long way in making people feel more connected to you. It also ensures that your relationships remain fresh and vibrant, not stagnant or trapped in nostalgia. By doing so, you not only help others feel seen and heard, but you also make space for meaningful, present-day connections that enhance your relationships in the long run. So, next time you find yourself starting to talk about the good old days, consider how you can invite others into the conversation. Ask questions, share experiences that are happening right now, and be present in the moment. This will allow you to foster deeper and more fulfilling connections, creating a sense of belonging for both you and those around you, rather than feeling like you're simply holding on to a time that's long gone. 6. Not respecting boundaries in personal space. As we grow older, our relationships with family and friends naturally evolve. We may find that we have more time on our hands or that the roles in our relationships shift in different ways. However, one thing that remains constant is the need for personal space and boundaries. These boundaries, whether emotional, physical, or time-related, are vital to maintaining healthy and respectful relationships. Unfortunately, some older individuals may struggle to recognize or respect these boundaries, sometimes assuming that their needs, requests, or presence should take priority simply because of their age. This can happen in various ways, such as expecting immediate responses to phone calls, showing up unannounced at someone's home, or demanding personal information from others, even when it's not appropriate to do so. While it's natural to want to stay connected with loved ones, failing to respect their boundaries can hurt your relationships. People, no matter their age, need their own time and space to recharge and maintain their emotional well-being. When you overlook these needs, it can make others feel overwhelmed, pressured, or even resentful. For instance, expecting immediate responses to calls or messages can make others feel like they are being rushed or controlled, while dropping by unannounced might intrude on their privacy or disrupt their schedule. Moreover, demanding personal information or giving unsolicited advice can cause discomfort and strain, especially if it's not invited. So, what can you do to avoid overstepping and ensure that you maintain respectful, healthy relationships? The first step is to be mindful of other people's time, emotional needs, and personal space. Take a moment to reflect on how your actions might affect those around you. If you sense that someone is hesitant to engage or seems withdrawn, it's important to recognize that they may need their own space, whether physical or emotional. Instead of pushing for interaction, consider taking a step back and giving them room to breathe. By honoring these boundaries, you demonstrate mutual respect, which helps create an environment of trust and comfort in your relationships. Respecting others' personal space not only strengthens the bond you share, but also ensures that people feel valued for who they are, rather than feeling like their needs are secondary. Showing that you can acknowledge and support their boundaries will foster a sense of balance and respect, making your relationship stronger, more comfortable, and lasting. Whether it's waiting for someone to reach out first or simply checking in and giving them the freedom to say no, small gestures of respect for personal space go a long way in nurturing positive connections. As we've explored today, maintaining strong, healthy relationships requires a little self-awareness and a lot of respect for others' time, space, and needs. Whether it's being mindful of our negativity, offering advice only when it's welcomed, staying open to change, respecting personal boundaries, or striking a balance between the past and the present, all these steps help create deeper connections with the people around us. So, what have you learned from this video so far? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below with one thing you've learned today that you plan to bring into practice in your life moving forward. Your feedback and insights are always appreciated. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.